What's going on, everybody? I'm back again with another video. Today I'm in Gowanus, Brooklyn, which I covered this neighborhood a couple of years ago, and I think it's like a little underrated neighborhood close to Park Slope, and it's also served by the canal, the Gowanus Canal right here. This used to be formerly an industrial area, but little by little they're developing the area, making up restaurants, opening art galleries around here, and this is also a place that's really cool for the nightlife, especially since it's not too far from the Barclay Center right here in Brooklyn. So we're gonna walk around the neighborhood and show you guys what's happening right here. So without further ado, join me. One of the trains served here is the art train. I got off of Union Street, and this is part of Union Street right here. And it's gonna pass by the canal. You get some good views, but I wanna show you what's happening right here. So we got also like a barbecue joint right here. So here, there's a lot of developments going on over here. So it's a mix of apartment with business happening. So the neighborhood's not really that big, you know, but I think it's pretty interesting to look at. I was studying the map because, like I said, it's been a couple of years since I covered over here. So trying to get, you know, familiar with the area and see how much has this changed since the last time I came here and I filmed. And it's really close to downtown Brooklyn, but it's just like a little different vibe over here. Here you can see this is 3rd Avenue. They're popping up apartment complex. So it's like everywhere you go, they're developing more. This is also called Rowhouses Jr. Place in Union Street. And then if you go over here, it's downtown Brooklyn. So I'm probably gonna merge over here because there's like a little local park. I wanna see what's going on. But then you guys see the neighborhood little by little is changing. This is probably gonna be like a happening spot. The crazy thing is that we are in the middle of the summer and I'm literally wearing like a long sleeve shirt because there's supposed to be like a storm happening over here. Debbie, which is a storm that was down in Florida, and part of it's coming here. It's gonna cause a couple of rain and the weather dropped down a little bit, so. But that doesn't stop me from exploring to see what's out here. So now the rain is starting to come down a little bit. I got my umbrella, but I'm not gonna pull it out yet. But I wanna walk towards this street to show you what's going on. There should be like a hotel over here, and then once you head towards 4th Avenue, there's a tall building that they're popping up. So you can see a little bit of some art over here. This would be like a club or something like that. Not like a nightclub, but one of those clubs that they got. Then Union Hotel's right here. There's a street art over there, and then you see how they're developing all over 4th Avenue. And this is part of the street art. Looks pretty cool. And I think there's more ahead in the corner, so let's go take a little peek. So this is the other street art here, and it looks really cool. This is like a family feeding, doing like community center. Then in the corner, there's another one. So I think if I cross the street, it should be even better, the view. See a little bit of it, but the tree kind of blocks it. And then this is the high-rise building. Not sure if it's like a hotel or condo, but this over here is 4th Avenue. And then on the other side is Park Slope, and literally 4th Avenue is built with all this high-rise condos right here. But now I'm just gonna turn back and walk. There should be a little park or a playground called Thomas Green. I don't think it's anything crazy, but I love to look at all the local parks that they have throughout the neighborhoods in New York and Jersey. Police. So I'm gonna see what's happening over there. Hopefully it stops raining a little bit so I can keep on filming. Here's a little local playground, but nothing crazy. See some gentlemen over there, not sure if they're repairing. Then you see a lot of city bikes going on over here that you could rent out. So yeah, maybe in the future they might develop the playground a little more. So I'm gonna walk towards there because it seems like in the other side of the canal is the area that's mostly developed. Then we're gonna pass by Union Street and cross the bridge where the canal is, so you can see a different type of view. So not sure how clear you can see, but you can see how they're popping up tall buildings over here, developments. They're gonna build another one right here, so this is all gonna be popping up. Kind of gives you a little vibe of Williamsburg. And then in the corner there's more buildings, so the canal should be around there. So I'm literally the only one walking around here, you know. It's like a little peaceful neighborhood. But now let's make it towards the other side. So we get past the canal and get some pretty cool, interesting, underrated views of downtown Brooklyn. So I gotta tell you, the last time I came to this neighborhood, there was not really much going on. Still not much, but look, see how they're developing. So I think in maybe like 2 years, this is gonna be a happening neighborhood. See, there's more and more buildings here. That explains you how long I've been here. But now let's go over here where the bridge is gonna be. The Union Street Bridge, and we're gonna get some views of the canal. I remember the last time I came here, the canal didn't really have a pleasant smell, but that's okay. It's gonna be a different type of vibe right here. And just look at this. All of the high-rise buildings over here. So I think it's actually nicer on the other side once I cross this bridge. Because I was looking at the map, there are a couple of apartment complexes with some brownstones, and then over here, this is what you get. The canal, and you can see the Brooklyn Tower disappears with the clouds and the fog. But this over here is super underrated and super local. You can see what's going on, the high-rise buildings that are popping up, and look at the beauty right there. Downtown Brooklyn, so like I say, you know, something different, but I think it's pretty cool to look at it and a good place to practice your photography skills now that Brooklyn has its own downtown and a lot of high-rise buildings. I think another cool thing about these apartments that they're popping up is they're building also like a waterfront, so I'm not sure if it's for the public too, but it kind of looks a little bit like Mott Haven in the Bronx. I know the new buildings over there, they have that same vibe. Even the design of the building is similar to the ones in Mott Haven, but we're gonna figure that out in a little bit. So now let's explore this other side of the neighborhood of Gowanus to see what's going on. I think this side is nicer than the other one, but it's more residential on this side, and then we'll turn back, and you know, I think it's totally worth it to check out this neighborhood. So I'm starting to remember a little bit the last time I came here. I remember this old school truck was right here. Oh, look at it, pretty cool. But then I think there's a couple of business around here that are pretty nice. Like I say, this area over here is much nicer. So I'm gonna do a detour on Sackett Street, but this over here looks more hipster. So I think all the action happens on this side and the other side of the canal. Because over here I'm seeing some street art, let me show you. So like over here, this is like an auto repair shop, but I like how they decorated with the street art, which is pretty nice. And then of course you got the high-rise buildings that are popping up. And then this must be what, like a coffee shop right here? It's pretty lit. Cafecito Social. Social Cafecito, wow. I like the art and the decoration, it's pretty nice. So I think this is where all the action happened. Then I want to show you something before I make it to the street. So you can see a little bit of history. So you got the cobblestones underneath the streets. And then over there, they're developing the area with the new buildings. But now let's check the street over here, which I think is pretty nice because it got the trees covering the streets and then the beautiful architecture. Not sure if it's a brownstone style, but you know, pretty much what you get in many other neighborhoods in Brooklyn, New York. So here you can see the design and the art. Pretty nice. For some reason, this is kind of giving me vibes of Red Hook. Pretty similar, you know. Like it got the beautiful art like this, but you know, like short buildings are not really that tall. This is nice too. Like the colors. So here, just look at this beauty, wow. Tell you, this is the first time I've been in this side. Wow, like I say, every day in New York never stops to impress me, but all types of neighborhoods and architecture you can get. Even on the other side, just look at this. It's nice, right? And I'm pretty sure in the fall season, which it comes like in a month and a half, this is gonna be a beautiful street when the leaves start changing their colors. For some reason, I like this one. Look at this one, this is pretty interesting. It got the original type of old building, but then in the top is like a modern style. So it seems like they developed it on top. I'm gonna walk here, make a left, and explore a couple of other streets to see what's going on. But so far, I'm liking this side. Gowanus is pretty nice and pretty cool. So, but yeah, despite the day being cloudy and a little bit on the chillier side, it's still an amazing day. You know, ahead of me is Hoyt Street. So, yep, we'll see what's going on. Here, not sure how much I can cover, but it's a beautiful cathedral right here. Wow. Pretty big and massive, and it goes all the way in the back. So over here is Hoyt Street, and then the other side of the street, I think it's Cobble Hill section, if I'm not mistaken, which I made a video there. It's another cool neighborhood, but you can see how nice it gets. But then I'm gonna merge over here and walk a couple of blocks, probably towards First Street, to see what's going on, you know. But so far, pretty interesting neighborhood. So I'm gonna make it towards Bond Street and do a couple of blocks and see what's going on and take a close-up to the developments happening right here in this neighborhood. Like I say, so far, pretty interesting neighborhood, and I'm glad I came here, you know. It seemed like it's an upcoming neighborhood, and I figure the nighttime, it's where it comes pretty vibrant here, especially on the weekends, you know, depending what type of streets you go. Here we are back again, Bond Street, and you can see what's going on. So new residential units popping up right here in the neighborhood, so pretty soon there's gonna be new residents coming towards here. This over here to my right is a new building too. So it seems like the street is gonna be filled up with mostly new residential units. This is literally happening all over the city, and that also causes the rent to skyrocket. This building over here looks pretty cool and modern. It's a residential unit, and even has a parking lot underneath, so if you have a car, you know, pretty big as it goes all over to Bond Street. So what I'm gonna do is walk First Street towards Hoyt Avenue and then merge into Second Street to see how it changes the vibe over there. According to what I was looking at the map, it looks like it's a pretty nice residential street with architecture. And this is what you get when you merge into First Street. Tree-lined streets, you know, I'm a huge fan of it. And it's even nicer in the summertime, you know, because the leaves, they come out. Unfortunately, in the winter, the leaves disappear, so it's like it's literally exposed. But yeah, it's just pretty nice right here. And you see part of the streets, I can even see the leaves. It's kind of, with the gloomy weather like this, it's kind of giving me vibes of fall season, like October or November. But we're in the heart of the summer, the beginning of August. But it's really good, you know, a pretty nice looking street. It's like it could take you forever to explore every single street in the city. I'm gonna walk and merge into Second Street to see how it's going on, and then I'm probably gonna walk near those tall residential buildings to see what's going on over there and how the vibe changes. Rain is coming down a little bit more heavier, you know, so it's like it's coming on and it's leaving, but here I am in Second Street, so I'm gonna show you what's going on. So this is Second Street right here. It goes down the hill, and pretty much similar to First Street. Trees and beautiful apartment complex. And a lot of these apartments right here, they have their own front yard, you know, with the fence. And then they, you know, they got the vegetation, the trees and stuff. So it's pretty nice, you know, and when the weather gets hot, it gives the sidewalk like a little bit of a shade, and it contributes, you know, to the temperatures. Then you got the tree here, but then these apartments, they look kind of cute too. Like older buildings, but they renovated, they painted, and it gives it like a nice, beautiful vibe. And across the street is pretty nice too. It resembles a little bit of an historic district. You can see how they got the brick buildings, the different varieties and colors. And then the modern buildings are over there. But this is really nice. So now I'm gonna make it towards the modern buildings to see what's going on. I think they have like a little waterfront or something you can walk by the canal. I'm not sure if it's private, but I'm gonna figure it out. And now then I'm just gonna continue exploring all the parts of the neighborhood. Then as you can see, the modern apartment complex right here. And then over here they're developing more. Ahead of me, I think it's where the canal is. I can see it right there, so I think it's open to the public. This is really giving me vibes of Mount Haven and South Bronx, where they developed the new high-rise buildings. And then they got like a little plaza where you can walk near the waterfront. So let's check it out. So here I want to give you a little sample of what they're going to pop up over here. It's just like an empty lot, but then a little closer to rendering. Another residential unit, you can see how they got the little plaza where you can walk. So, and now I'm entering this little modern, I guess, waterfront you can call it, by the canal. The good thing, the canal doesn't smell as bad like it used to the last time I came here, but this is what you get. Views over here, and I think it looks pretty cool. It's pretty nice. You can see here they keep the grass well paved, modern buildings, and then you got this here. And I'm gonna assume maybe the other residential units are gonna have their own walkable area too. Maybe they should make like little bridges that connect it. That would be really cool. But yeah, it's really nice what they're doing. So now I'm just gonna go again back into the street and head to 3rd Street. That's gonna cross me the canal. And I'm gonna pass where the Whole Foods supermarket is. I think there's also like another pathway here that passes like literally right next to the canal, and it's pretty interesting to look at. So far, in my opinion, I like this new concept that they do And I think a lot of cities, they should take notes, and it's happening all over. I guess the young generation love that, where they're developing not just residential units, but they make it walkable too, and they create areas where you can walk and engage with the nature and stuff like that. And I think that should be a good example, you know, that cities should be built for the people and not just mainly for the cars. Here I'm gonna cross the canal again by 3rd Street, and probably a little different than the other side, but it's still pretty cool to look at. Here's a canal, as you can see. And then I'll show you the other side. And it's drizzling, not heavy, but you know, it's drizzling out here. But still, it's really cool how the buildings, they disappear with all of that. And then over here should be like a walking area near the Whole Foods supermarket. And this is the Whole Foods supermarket parking lot. This is a different type than the other parts in New York. This one has the parking, and then it has like this roof here, over here. I guess it's gonna cover with the weather. And one thing I noticed is like this. I guess it's like a solar panel. And then not only that, it got this walking area over here that you can walk by the canal. Even though it's nothing crazy, but it's pretty interesting, you know, to look at and explore. So yeah, I think it might not be anything special, but you know, there's like a warehouse over here and it has a beautiful street art. This is still part of the Whole Foods supermarket. And even over here, they got this over here that they try to beautify it. So like I say, this is a really different type of supermarket than the other ones. Then I think it takes you straight to 3rd Avenue. So I'm glad I came here after a couple of years of being around here. So I'm in 3rd Avenue and the rain is starting to come down heavier a little bit. But I think I already seen enough of the neighborhood here in Gowanus. You know, the other parts of the neighborhood is just mostly residential. Also, another cool thing about the neighborhood is that if you go towards the end, towards Smith Street and 9th Street, that's the highest subway station in New York City. But I think this is gonna be a good place for me to wrap up the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all, and peace.